India defeated South Africa by 7 wickets in the third T20I of the ongoing 5-match series in Dharamshala. India now leads the 5-match series against South Africa. Joining us on the broadcast is Shekhar Vijayan, who's a sports journalist. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the broadcast. A very good morning to you. And when we are looking at this win, sir, for India against South Africa, it was clinical. We saw how India chose to ball first. Many were questioning that decision, and now we had all the bowlers contributing with 2 wickets each. Everyone played their part, and we restricted South Africa to 117, sir.
Good morning, Shivani. I think it was a wonderful display by India. And like you rightly said, it was more than clinical. It was also a surgical display by India in terms of the bowling effort, and which was also very important in a place like Dharamshala, which is a seamer's paradise. I think Indians bowled really well. They stuck to the plan. They also had a point to prove to the South Africans. And with India taking a 2-1 lead, it's going to be a very, very interesting series. But more than anything else, I think the bowlers came to the party actually bowled really well. And, all the bowlers bowled well. And, I always believe, beat any format, Test, T20, ODI, it's the bowlers who win the game more than the batsmen. The batsmen always more glamorous, they're more fancy. But if you want the bowlers to win the championship, they're the ones who do it, not the batsmen. So I think the bowlers really did well. They stuck to the plan. They also knew what the pitch is going to be offering them. And it's a seamer's paradise in Dharamshala, especially at this time of the year with the temperature dropping. So I think India really played well. They stuck to the plan. And I think 117 in a T20 game is easily achievable. So it can also get a little difficult also if you lose a few wickets in the beginning. But I think Indian openers backed well with Abhishek Sharma, really providing the impetus to India, and also Shubham Gill also showing some kind of form. But also what's also important for India is to get the form of the key players back. Which means Shubham Gill, Dharamshala Yadav, these players are important for India. They need to get the form back. Other things are going to get really tough. So this series is much more important, I really think, because it's a precursor to the World Cup with a number of games they have for the T20 World Cup coming up. So I think India should really bring the best game to the table, use the potential well, because India has a lot of talent. It's also about how do you manifest the talent, how do you manage the talent, how do you nurture the talent. That's important for India and for the coaching administration. So they really need to make sure that, now next game, which is in Lucknow, and then after that, what's the game in Ahmedabad, they need to make sure that they come with all, they really do well in terms of potential. They really use the potential well. They, use the talent well, manage the talent well, and more than anything else, play to the best of their ability and don't get distracted by what's happening off the ground. I think India really needs to do well in the T20 space, because there's a lot of young talent. But like I said, it's also important that they know what they're capable of. We know the ability, there's talent in India. They also need to perform well when it matters. So I think yesterday's game was the best example of Indians being very prepared. Also, I believe Indians also practice very hard. In the practice sessions they put around 3 hours of practice. In terms of getting the conditions, trying to understand conditions well. I believe Surya Kumar Yadav and Shubham Gill really practiced a lot, and the effort speaks for itself. They may not score much runs, but I think that effort matters. And what's really important is the discipline, the effort, the consistency. So I think we've got to give it some time. And with the score with the way it is in terms of the score being 2-1 in a 5-match series, it's going to be more closer than we think. So the next game is also going to be crucial, and the game after that is also going to be.
Absolutely, Shekhar. And also when we look at it individually, for Arshdeep, it was kind of a comeback against all those trolls who had, trolled him and made a meme out of his entire, that 7 wides in an over, and there were memes all over the place on social media, mocking him. And he was the first to strike. He got those 2 wickets, in fact, and he proved to those trolls that yes, he is still in the game, and he is in the game brilliantly.
All the trolls who were making fun of him, they failed to realize one very important aspect. Arshdeep, as a left-arm seamer, is very important for India in the larger scheme of things. And the second thing is, he's been Quinton de Kock's nemesis in T20s. He's taken his wicket the maximum amount of time. Yes, he had an off day. Yes, he bowled 7 wide. But then, 7 wides do not take a summer. So I think it's just it's a mistake which has happened. It's about, learning from your mistakes and coming back strong. That's exactly what Arshdeep did. He bowled according to a plan, he practiced hard, and he didn't show it because, your action speaks louder than your words, and victory is all the most important thing. I think what's important for India is also to, gain the momentum. See, T20 is all about momentum. It's all about rhythm. Once you win, you got to keep winning, and it's all a matter of a few balls, a few overs. Things can change very quickly in a T20 game. So it's very important for India to maintain that momentum, maintain the rhythm, and when you're winning, you want to keep winning all the time. So it's important for the bowlers to bowl really well. And like I said right at the beginning of our conversation, it's the bowlers who win you games. We all talk about the batsmen, we talk about the Surya Kumar Yadav, we talk about Sanju Samson, we talk about the Shubham Gill, but it is the bowlers who win you the game. And there's no better sight in world cricket than seeing a left armour or seeing a right armour, bowling in those Yorkers at steering pace and, and uprooting the stumps. Because that's what, wins you the games more than the batsman. So a lot of people may not agree, but I think that's what really matters, your bowler. So if India has to really win, the bowlers should really make them win. And, they should not miss any catches. The fielding should be up to mark. And I think that's what India really is doing. Because like I said, India has a lot of potential. There's so much of talent in India, and, India's got an A team, a B team, a C team, which has got so much of ability and talent. So one wonders why they can't win all the games. But South Africa is also a very good team. They're a team which understands the talent. They understand the composition of a team when it comes to India, and they know what India is capable of. So I think a lot of teams have also figured out India's game plan. So India has to be one step ahead and prepare and plan really hard.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shekhar, for all those valuable